So if you guys don't know where I'm at, it's because I am in central Nevada. That's right. I am driving through these amazing little tiny towns with these cute old mining buildings, speed traps around every corner, really cool old stuff in every little tiny town everywhere, and I'm in rockhound heaven. I'm in Turquoise country, and the home of the basin and range, and beautiful alluvial fans, and there's snow on the mountains, which means I'm going to be freezing cold. Somewhere there's going to be a dirt road, and it's not ideal for a low clearance tiny car. Regardless, we persevere. Hey guys, welcome back to Ellie Knows Rocks. I am on the top of a hill in the middle of Nevada, and I am standing in the middle of two turquoise mines at an old abandoned mining town, a little bit of a ghost town. Most of the buildings are pretty dilapidated and have a lot of different rocks in them, but we're looking for this, turquoise. So this is pretty awesome. I came here 8 years ago as part of an internship program, and the place is still here. So I'm glad I remembered where it was and I was able to find it. We're gonna go walk around and check out one of the old pits, an adit that hopefully is still there, and then check out some of the old buildings too in this little town. As you can see, this place was kind of trashed. A lot of just nasty wood everywhere and tons of rat poop. I didn't stay very long in there. I just wanted to get out of the cold and the wind because I was a chicken. And of course, my eyes are always on the ground, so I spot something so that I can pick it up and show you guys just kind of the leftovers, I think, that somebody was hitting off of a rock and left them on the ground, but they are pretty little specimens. Central Nevada is one of those areas that has turquoise everywhere all over the mountains. I'm thinking that this little shack guy was probably a powder shed, and they had buried it semi in the ground and put dirt around it so that just in case it exploded, it didn't go too far. And this little shack thing over here, I'm thinking was either a storage area or maybe a sorting shed. Not exactly sure what it used to be. I would like to clear up a few misconceptions about mining claims. There are two different types of mining claims. There's the type of mining claim where you purchase the property and the mineral rights, essentially putting up a claim on private property. Then there's a more common type of mining claim where you put in a claim with the state for a specific portion of public land that you essentially hold the mineral rights to. These types of claims have to be re-registered and paid for every year, plus have a certain amount of work done every year in order to keep the claim valid. In this type of claim, the claimee essentially owns the mineral rights and has the right to take them from the land. Quick pause here, I was super excited to find Apache tears just kind of laying in the dirt. Also, with these types of claims, the person that is claiming the mineral rights or this mining claim does not own the land. It is not private property. People are very much discouraged to go rockhounding in these areas, but you are allowed to hike around and view whatever's there because it is public land. Claim owners love to boast that since they own the claim, they own the land also. So they put up no trespassing signs and the like thereof. This is actually not true. You do have the right to walk around. You have the right to view it. You even have the right to pick up a rock. They may be private claims. It is not private land. However, for those of you wondering, I did not collect from this site. Now let's talk about the geology. The geology in this area consists of welded and non-welded silica ash flow tuffs, rhyolitic flows, and shallow intrusive rocks, as well as andesite. A lot of the ore bodies in this area are structurally controlled, with ore being found in breccias and located in gouge zones in faults. You can see this wall has a very jointed structure, with a fault line running right through it and terminating into the adjacent wall. Now this is the part where it helps to have good eyes and a good sense of what's going on around you. You might not have been able to see it at first, but as you get closer, you can see the turquoise. It's very camouflaged in the host rock. I definitely kept trying to see how many I could spot from far away. Did you see that one before I got to it? I'm very surprised that these buildings are still standing and in such good shape. And there's the little car we drove. This is no place for a car. The hills in central Nevada are littered with all kinds of old mining activity. Finding something like this along a road is extremely common. It was either a prospecting pit, a shaft that had gotten buried, or just something that was abandoned because there was no ore. One of my very favorite parts of this is the structure that's built up around old adits and shafts. The rock work, the wood,
and all of the garbage that you find lying around. The old cans and bottles and the glass that you find.
Look at that purple glass.
And yeah, sometimes I get a little bit too overexcited about the glass I find. But like they say, one man's junk is another man's treasure. Or in my case, tumbled old mining beach glass. I love the old rock structures and all the mining activity you see on the surrounding hills. It really tells a story about how mineral influenced this area really was, and the effort it took old miners to find and extract these minerals. You can see this area had not been touched for a while, pretty dilapidated, and just chunks of rocks everywhere. The surrounding rock is a non-welded tuff with brecciated intrusions around it. Funny thing is, I put up this sign 8 years ago, and it's still standing.
It's slippery. Wow, trying to do this on not. Woo, great rock.
You can see I'm having just a little bit of a hard time getting up here, but it was well worth it. I'm glad that sign held up because I definitely used it to pull my butt into the attic.
Oh man, there's a vein right there.
Of course, I am instantly fascinated with the veins of turquoise in the walls. And yes, an old mine adit is really hard to resist, but this one doesn't go back in very far. It stops pretty abruptly and there's a giant pack rat nest at the end. I felt completely comfortable and safe. In my excitement, I decided to try some turquoise vein removal from the roof side of this adit, and more or less it was just for me to poke around, have fun, see if I could do it. Most of the turquoise in this area is a lot softer than the host rock that it's in. So it falls apart pretty easily, and so does the rock surrounding it in some cases. There's a lot of fracturing and a lot of loose rock.
Not recommended to do at home.
And the turquoise coming out of this area is not gem quality, and it must be stabilized because of how pithy and soft it is. Nonetheless, it was still exciting for me to pull out a little chunk.
It's kind of crumbly, but it's pretty neat.
This would have been a handmade drill hole for dynamite in the mine. I had just hammered through a bunch of rocks and realized that I wasn't recording while I did it, so this is the aftermath of me trying to get out some blue that I saw on the ground.
Because the rock that it's in is very pithy.
After having some fun here, I decided to try my hand at actually removing a vein from the side of the wall. I don't know about you, but I laughed pretty hard at the sound of the hammer hitting the chisel as it sped up. I get a kick out of it. At this point, I'm extremely grateful that the rock is not very solidified and is pretty easy to hammer through.
Wow, look how pretty that is. Mm-hmm. That's a beautiful, beautiful vein. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed checking out these turquoise mines and finding some turquoise with me. And please subscribe, like this video, and share it with your friends.
Thank you all so much for being part of my adventure. I'll see you all next time.